Hello, survivors, and welcome to another episode of Will You Survive?
The podcast.
you, you ruined it. You ruined it.
He changed the cadence of it. He did.
Okay, TJ.
That's -1. Let's
-1.
go.
How is that
We're off
-1?
to
No,
a
hey,
good
I'm throwing
start.
extra. Hey, y'all are
Let's
bland. I'm
go.
throwing an extra little flavor here. You can't. I don't even get a +1 for like, you know.
I don't know. You changed the cadence. That's a lot.
Hello, survivors, and welcome to another episode of Will You Survive?
The podcast?
I'm your host, Alex, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
I'm Eric.
And I'm somebody.
TJ?
Maybe?
Today we are going to be discussing survival horror in The Mist. This is based off of the Stephen King short story. Let me read you a little storyline. If you haven't seen this movie before, give you a little tip. There are no spoiler alerts because this movie is old enough. If you haven't seen it, you should have. This is the Draytons. David, Steph, and their son Billy live in a small Maine town. One night, a ferocious storm hits the area, damaging their house. The storm is accompanied by a strange mist the following morning. David and Billy and their neighbor, Brent Norton, go into town and find themselves trapped in a grocery store with several other people. There they discover that the mist contains something frightening and intent on killing humans. That's a pretty good description of this movie. And as we go, we're going to just jump right in on it. There's a couple of things that I would like to ask you guys on survival tactics in a storm. Now, I don't want to go too deep into the mist storm, but survival tactics for a storm like this. What is it that you would need to have on hand and be ready with for a storm of that magnitude? Let's go with TJ first.
Well, as our kind beloved host always says,
Suck
there's
up.
there's the things that you need. You need food. You need water. You need shelter. That's all you really need. You need a place to hunker down in a storm. You need food, water. You probably need light. Yeah, keep some candles stocked up. Keep flashlights, whatever you got on hand, you know. Make sure that you fill up your bathtubs and you can drink from your water heater. You can back of the toilet even if you're real desperate.
My boss was just talking about how we should get a crank flashlight to have one just in case. I don't really know why we would need one, but I think in general, as a household item, that's not bad to have.
Your Honor, he can actually find a crank flashlight on our Pinterest.
It's true.
That's a good point.
It's
you know
true.
what? I actually brought that up to my boss as well. Because he knows about I was like, we may or may not have a whole Pinterest board of a lot of survival stuff. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. I'm giving you both a point for that. TJ, because you were real. Eric, because you at least tried well enough to lie.
I didn't even lie. That was true.
Oh, you did tell him about our Pinterest boards?
I did.
Okay, well then that point is justified. Okay, so moving on to the next thing.
I lied.
So the storm breaks the window, right? The tree falls and breaks the window.
Yes.
And one of the things I know in retrospect, looking back at the movie, I'm like, oh, why didn't you take your wife with you? Why would you leave your wife? But who would know this, right? It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. And we're going to just say that the same thing applies. You go and you're out on the road. You're in the store, the grocery store, just like the movie. You've left your wife behind. The beginning of the whole ordeal starts, and Melissa McBride, I forget, she's an unnamed character in the movie, but she was in The Walking Dead. Like most of the cast of The Walking Dead was in this movie.
She was the blonde girl?
She was the short-haired woman who said she left her
Love
kids.
Carol.
Oh,
home.
yeah, Carol.
That was
She's
Carol.
fucking hot.
Look at the flowers.
I love her.
You think she's hot?
Yes. Don't know what that says about me.
So she wanted to leave, right? And rightfully so. She wanted to leave because she left her kids at home. She just intended to run to the store real quick and come back.
That's tough.
So a couple of things that get us off of the bat, right? Because all of our survivors can know, if you're prepared and you have water, food, and shelter, they clearly had shelter in their basement. They had a storm shelter. So if you have water, food, shelter, some first aid kit, some first aid, your prescription medication, if you have any, stuff like that stocked up, then you're not running out to the store in the first place. But you have to go to the store. Let's say he's out to get he said plastic sheeting. Me personally, because I'm always expecting zombies to pop up, I think plywood would have been a better fix for his house.
Okay, let's put yourselves in his shoes. A storm happens. You live in a small town in Maine. You're assuming zombies because a tree bursted through your window?
Well, I'm always assuming zombies.
I'm always assuming zombies, but realistically,
I'm always
plastic
assuming
sheeting.
Zombies. I go for a jog and I'm thinking somebody out on the
Then
street
why are
is a
our
freaking
windows
zombie.
not already boarded?
Because we're on the third floor.
Not the windows that go to the walkway?
Yeah, that's harder to get through.
But hear me out. What if they're World War Z zombies and they can climb?
Exactly.
I mean, then we're screwed anyway.
Also true.
Seems to me like you should have an I Am Legend type, shutdown protocol.
Where's our metal shutters?
All of our glass, our front glass, all of our glass, it's all tempered. So you're not going to just pound on it and break it.
Okay, but these things broke through the shop window.
No, the shop window was broken, remember? It had a gnarly crack in it.
No, but
taped it.
they broke through it. The big pterodactyl looking things.
They broke through the broken window.
No, they were cracking the glass everywhere they hit.
They were cracking the glass everywhere.
It was after it was broken. Then you're talking about weakened
It
glass.
was not gonna hold whether
Yeah,
there was a
Eric,
crack
it was
there or
weakened
not.
glass.
Will you stop being a brown nose? You were just on my side.
No, I wasn't. The host is always right.
You hear how he's wishy-washy?
The host is always right.
At least I'm being genuine.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
I
mean,
can see the
it's
host's
genuinely
glorious
wrong.
forearm currently.
Oh my god. We're going back to lust. That's how we're gonna get points now?
It
Hey,
actually
I
works.
gotta do what I gotta do.
It works?
It actually works.
Brother.
That's helping me. I'm liking this forearm poppy thing.
What?
Hashtag forearm poppy. Let's go.
So, but nonetheless, I want to go to the woman who wants to leave. And spoiler alert, right? She ended up surviving. Now, there's a theory as to why she survived, and it is justified in many spots of the movie. So, what do? You're in the store. This is breaking out. Do you make a mad dash and get the heck out of there and go back home, or do you stay put? Well, let's go with Eric first.
So assuming I live in that small town and I know everybody, when Dan comes running in saying something grabbed so-and-so in the mist, something's out there, and he has blood all over him, I'm not going out there.
Okay.
Something's out there. I'm not like all the idiots who are like, nah, you're making shit up. Why? Why would I make that up? What is the purpose of that?
Okay.
So like, especially the loading bay where Captain Holt.
Okay, we'll get to that.
He made me hate him.
We'll get to that.
He made me hate him.
TJ.
But the whole like,
Rest in
I don't
peace.
believe you,
Rest in peace to
brother.
him, Eric.
Rest in
I can't
peace.
believe you're
Rest in
talking ill of the dead.
I'm
Andre
saying
Brown.
he's
I didn't know
such
you were
a
that type
good
of person.
actor. I'm saying he's such a good actor. He made me hate him. All the best actors make me hate them.
It's true. It's true. He did
Except for
such a
Dwayne
good
Johnson.
job.
I just hate him. 'Cause
I don't know what you have against The Rock, man.
Okay. All right. So, TJ, what do? Do you stay put or do you bail?
I stay put and I start thinking of a better way to freaking barricade than dog food.
Mm-hmm.
You know the shelves in stores can like come off, right? That's like, it's not like the thickest metal, but it's metal. I'd
Okay,
start putting
all right.
that shit up against the windows.
That's a good
But
point.
I would definitely stay put. I'm not about to. Nah.
That's not bad. I think I would have to see how you could do it. I think if you were to do the same kind of concept, right? They were using dog food, and you do the same kind of concept, but you put the shelves long ways vertical and then pile the dog food up behind them. That at least helps a little bit. If you've got a drill and some screws, maybe you screw into those metal frames. That might be pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, you saw later on they brought like a big wooden piece to cover up the hole in the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Why weren't they using that to begin with?
Well, that's true. But just so you guys know, you guys both got a point for that because I think the right choice was to stay as well.
Perfect.
Although the woman did luck out when she got out of there, there was a reason for that, and we'll explain that. I don't think him with his son was not the right move.
No.
It's not the right move to bail.
She had no other choice.
Right.
So her, I understand. Pretty much anybody else didn't really have a reason to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Also, we can all agree that in the grocery store, you have long period of time of survival. You have mostly canned food. They said the food was going to keep even with the generator off. They'd be able to, keep it cool for long enough.
Yeah. I wouldn't be worried about food. What I'd be worried about is exactly what the problem was, which is the people.
Yeah.
The people
Yeah.
become the problem.
So, okay, now
Ooh.
we'll move on to the next question here. When we're in the grocery store and all of the, we got to say the chaos ensues after Norm gets taken, right? So,
Whoa. Do you remember, what was the flu?
yes.
How upset I got about the generals who told them to open fire and then wouldn't look at what they did.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I got that same anger with, what was his name?
Jim.
With Jim and,
Yep. Jim and Myron.
oh man. I don't even know how to put it into words how angry I was at that whole, just the whole my dick is big, the big dick contest that
Yep.
they were doing.
Yep.
Oh my, and it got the guy killed. Why would you lie about that?
What's amazing about it is that Ollie really he really explained very well why.
Yeah.
There's a problem, we can solve it. They're going to solve it. And I do think that that's accurate. So that actually leads me to my next question, because you have Norm who gets taken out by something. One thing that I can agree with is the hysteria that all of the guys witnessed it. Ollie witnessed it. David witnessed it. And what did they say? You got to tell everybody. Tell everybody what? I saw it and I don't believe it, right?
Yeah.
This is something that we take for granted because we watch these movies and it's like, oh yeah, of course this exists, right? And so when you go down that pathway, you're like, I want you to know, I want everybody to know that this is what's going on, right? This is the I like survival horror, and everybody is hysterical in their own way, including the neighbor, Andre Brower. I just read his Benjamin, I think. He was hysterical in his own way. And what I attribute to all of the people is panic. His refusal to believe their story was based strictly in panic.
Yeah, because if it was true, then they're screwed.
And he even said that at the end when he goes to walk out and he says, what if you're wrong?
Then
Then the joke really will be on me.
Yeah.
Right. But he was panicking. He was scared. This is all psychological. What do you propose to do? You're in this situation. You're kind of leading the whole group, right? What do you propose to do to keep sound minds? Because you've got to keep people busy in order to prevent this from getting out of hand like it did. So my question to you, TJ, is what do you do to try to keep the psychological sanity? How do you keep the sanity in such an insane way? Because I personally think that it has to do with action. You have to give everybody a job to do. But I want you to make up your own decision. What would you do in this scenario to give everybody something to do to try to take their mind off of all of their fears?
Simple. I become a dictator. I take the gun and I shoot Mr. Captain whatever the fuck. Captain Holt. I don't know. I don't remember his character's name. The neighbor.
Norton.
I'm going to shoot him in the kneecap. And I'm going to tell everybody to the back room. Now, go look at all that. You're not allowed to leave. I'm saving your guys' life.
My man, they're going to think you're putting them in the back to shoot them.
Okay. As horrific as that is, I think it's effective.
I low-key feel like it would work, though.
It would work.
Like, hey, you see this idiot right here? He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You need to listen to this group of sane people that were with me back there, seeing this. You're just going to believe this dude who doesn't know what he's talking about? You know?
I don't like it, but I think that might work. Okay. What do you do, Eric?
Well, shit. How do I follow up communism? I think, oh gosh. I think you're right. Before you said it, that's what I was thinking, that people need to be busy. So people need a job, and David became the de facto leader. And I think he didn't step in enough to give everybody a job, so people got bored, and then they started following the crazy religious chick. They started following Norton. They started following everybody but the one guy who was like, "Let's stay alive. Let's barricade the windows. Let's try to get the drugs from the pharmacy." That guy, the one who came up with plans, I also feel like he didn't utilize the military enough. He had 3 soldiers there that he could have used to try and formulate some sort of plan. I am not going to lie, I'm not a leader. So I think I would have gone to the military and see what they know, if they know anything, or what they think we should do. And yeah, I mean, honestly, just keeping people busy. That's all you can really do.
I would also like to add, after I shoot dude in the kneecap, I would like to take
in the kneecap.
Yeah.
Kneecap.
I thought you offed him.
No, it's even
it'd
worse.
be pretty,
You left him alive.
I left him. I'd tourniquet him, whatever. But I would like, because this is a small town. Everybody knows this lady is crazy. Yeah. I would tie her ass up or like lock her in somewhere. I'd give her food.
Man,
I'd give her water, whatever. I'm
no, I
locking
agree
her
with
the
that.
fuck up because she is known to be crazy.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
So why would I let that be there? Like,
as scary as it sounds hearing you say that, there's a level that works. I mean, every movie shows it. Negan, right? He would take people out. He'd come across a group. He'd unalive one person, right? So it was like, that was his thing. And it instilled enough fear in all the rest that they didn't rise against him until later, right? This is always the way it works. A dictator comes around and they instill their will, and holy moly, is that scary, right?
See, that's not the way I would want to do it, because this is the problem I had with the religious girl, is that God is not the author of fear. God does not impose his will by fear. He doesn't impose his will on you. It's a choice. That's what free will is. So that is imposing your will, taking out somebody right away. Very, very communist, very dictator. And although I think it would work in this situation, I don't know. At that point, I think at some point it's just going to fall apart, and you're kind of just postponing the inevitable. So I think that whole leading out of fear just never works.
It'll get them to calm down enough for like a decent amount of time though.
Well, no, they won't be calm. They'll be submissive. You still have a bunch of panicking people. They're just not going to speak out now.
For a time, they will be submissive enough for some other shit to pop up. But like by the time like some other like alien creature pops up, they'll believe me, main character, Yeah. Because I said there's some shit out there. There's no definitive proof, right? Nobody else knows until some other shit pops off, and some other shit does pop off. We got bugs, bats, fucking spiders.
Oh, I'm sure you have something on this, but the bugs?
So far, we haven't really, and one of my biggest, I can't say pet peeve, because I really did love this movie. But one of my my wish list is I wish I could have seen what that monster was that took Norm.
Oh, the tentacle monster?
Yeah, because I mean, couldn't have quite been that big giant monster at the end that stepped over them that was like rocking their car, It couldn't have been that one. That one was so big and its tentacles were so short that it would have had to have been laying right next to the door. You would have seen it. There was something. I wish I could have seen what that was. Now, we don't need to prioritize food and water because we have so much here that we're set for quite a while, right? So let's move on to the point where I understood their reason for leaving. They had to leave and go to that pharmacy, right? I'm going to say that we have to do that. We have to go out and go to that pharmacy. It's right next door. As terrifying as that is, it shouldn't be, but it is. We'll say, how do you prioritize the needs? What is it? Is it exclusively for that person who is burnt? Are you looking for long-term? Are we going to try to grab and get everything we can so that we can go back and stay put? Or is there some other need? Are we going to grab for the eventual mobilization? Keep in mind what has already been in his mind up to that point.
So first of all, the burn guy's dead. They're trying to keep him alive, which is honorable, and I think I would do the same, but realistically, he's already dead.
It's cruel. I think it's more cruel to keep him alive. I would have granted his wish.
He was begging to die.
Yeah.
And at that point,
Burns are nothing to play. He had like
on his face.
His clothes were melted into his skin. There's nothing
Yeah.
we can do about that. We'd have to be able
You
to
need
do
a
skin
surgeon.
grafts and stuff.
Yeah, you need a surgeon, and none of them are surgeons. That cream isn't going to do anything.
Oh,
That's
man.
not going to fix anything that happened there.
Which, real quick, that's something that we've pointed out in these type of scenarios, that knowing first aid is good, but it's not necessarily a catch-all. If you require a hospital in one of these apocalyptic scenarios, you're toast. It doesn't matter how much. I mean, it really doesn't matter even if you have a surgeon with you. If you're out in a supermarket with a surgeon, you're probably going to expire anyway.
Yeah, his situation was not ideal. He was gone, unfortunately. Now, trying, I would still try. But going to the pharmacy, priorities, I think would be, they specifically went for the cream. I think it's a cream that they were going for. So specifically, I would look for that. That's the first thing they grabbed. Then grabbing antibiotics, like they said, penicillin, oxycodone, stuff like that. And then what I was kind of...
Oxycodone was the pain reliever.
Yeah, pain relievers. What I'm upset about is that the whole time they're sitting there picking and choosing what they're grabbing instead of just, they had big bags. Why not just whole shelf? Just grab everything.
Yeah.
And then they said they were going to take no chances, and then they took chances. They said they were going to take no chances, but they hear a weird thing and they decide to sit there and stand for 10 minutes and investigate. What? The second somebody goes, oh, we got to hurry up, there's some weird sound. No, we're already gone. Let's go. We're out the door. Bye. Why are we waiting?
On your way.
What, we already got what we came for. They already got the painkillers. They already got the antibiotics. They already got the burn cream. Leave.
But did you answer what I was asking? Are you grabbing all of this medication for the purpose of staying put in the supermarket, or are you grabbing all of this medication to eventually bug out, knowing everything you know up to this point?
It doesn't even matter. Either way, have the meds on you either way, because eventually stuff is going to happen in the supermarket that you're going to need some sort of meds for. Better to have them. And then if you leave on the road, you're going to want to bring meds with you.
Yeah.
So either way, just grab a bunch of meds, grab the shit you know you need, and then just grab a whole bunch of extra shit and dip. They
agree.
stayed way too long.
Like grab stuff that is like good shit, like priority shit, like, you know, stuff for like, I don't know medicine. I'm not a fucking doctor, but, you know, grab antibiotics, grab like pain stuff,
Pain relief,
grab stuff like that,
antibiotics,
right?
yeah.
But also grab all the shit that you might not know you need. Just fucking fill your shit and go.
They had big bags.
Like
Why
Glenn
not?
in The Walking Dead. You got to be fast.
Yeah,
That's right.
they took way
Okay,
too long.
but for you, TJ, are you grabbing to stay put in the supermarket, or are you grabbing to bail, knowing everything David knew at this point?
I think I'm grabbing just to grab, and then we'll figure out a plan later.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
I
fair.
agree.
As we go back and you start to see the degradation inside of the store, right? Everything is starting to fall apart. We had the people who left, and the guy who agreed to tie the rope around his waist was eaten, and you're pulling back half of him, right? Like,
Loved that guy.
that's enough panic to instill in everybody.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
And it wasn't great because it fed into that crazy lady's ramblings and false prophecies. She was convinced that she was the hand of God, and that she was able to prophesy, this is what it is, and this is what it is, and this is which there's a couple of things, like even IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and film critic articles all over the web all agree on something, which is really funny to me, because I've noticed that most of Hollywood knows the least about the Bible and religion, but all of them called out this movie for that. She was talking about human sacrifices, but the Bible calls out human sacrifice as bad. That's why it was such a surprise that God told Abraham to go sacrifice Isaac, but didn't require him to do it.
That's because when she was saying, when she started mentioning sacrifice, this is going a little bit down a religious route, but essentially it's saying that Jesus' sacrifice wasn't enough.
True. She needed to pull her own weight, she said.
Yeah. Oh, that's what she said when she was like, if I even convert one person, then I've pulled my own weight. I'm like, you don't know shit about Christianity. You don't know anything.
She's nuts. She was a cult leader, and everything starts devolving, right? This is where I kind of expected TJ's answer, but he did it early. Would you feel at this point that it's right to just pull that gun and off
her?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the most beneficial. Frankly speaking, I guess the right time that I'm thinking is when they grabbed the soldier and they started beating him and stabbing him before they even got to stabbing him. Do you think it would have been the right thing to do to have pulled that gun and shot that lady?
Hear me out. She said, God wants sacrifices. I'm helping her out by shooting her in the face.
Yeah.
That's what she
oh,
wants.
yeah. You want to sacrifice? You be the sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's a good point. He should get a point for that.
Also, I would like to say she is a great fucking cult leader, though. She had them like down with her like hella fast.
She
wrapped
did.
around her
That was
kind of
crazy how fast she freaking got them to.
But that's Satan. That's Satan right there. That using fear to coerce people into following you. That's not of God.
Yep.
And so everything that she preached was the exact opposite of what she claimed.
Yep.
And the whole beginning of the movie, even the first time I watched it, I knew right away she was going to be a problem because immediately she's spitting facts that are so far from the Bible. It's crazy. And it makes you wonder, like, is it better to just shut her up? But then you wonder, like, are you any better?
Hey guys, Editor TJ here. Alex and Eric are maybe just a little bit too into religion, so I had to cut about 4 minutes of them yelling at each other to save y'all the struggle of having to listen to mom and dad fight. So here's the end of that argument.
You have a Bible
I don't think that would have worked with her. She's a cult leader. I'm going to take
But it's not
TJ's
about
approach.
her.
At a certain point,
It's about
you
getting
gotta-
everybody else.
you gotta
I'm taking
shoot her.
TJ's approach. Yeah, that
Tie
all
her up or
that
shoot her or
is-
do something with her. You gotta put.
You
No, wait.
gotta put an end to it. Realistic, like hard rule. Not
Generator
argue, not
was
debate.
in a cage in the back room. I
Yeah.
would have put her in that cage.
Oh, that's a great. You know what? Yeah. Okay, you get a point for that, TJ.
The fuck? This is the same guy who said killing is never good.
Oh, it's not.
He's not
but,
killing
like,
her. He puts her in a cage. I didn't even think of that. Like how is there a freaking cage back there that they could put her in? And I never once thought of that.
They could have jailed her.
Yeah.
That I could have seen. Yeah, jailing
that
her would have
or
been.
They have like
And
the
they had
freezers
the
in the
threat
back
of
room.
force. They had the threat of force with the gun. They could have, like, the butcher had the knife, which was scary, right? But you saw, and I don't want to go too far, but you saw how all of them dropped it at the threat of force with a gun. So you know that would have worked if you would have come in hard at her. And I think that's what would have been necessary for her crazy. I think it's a show of force at that point. There's no debating, no verbal, no nothing. There's no talking that down. That's nuts.
But what's a cult leader without their following? They're nothing.
Well, no, what's the cult following without their leader?
Like, these people were looking for someone to follow. I think if you could show them that your cult leader's a sham, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about at all.
Well, I mean,
Now, I will say, I just read a comment. We are live while recording this. This is filmed in front of a live studio audience. I did read a comment right now that said by the time they realized she was a real threat, she already had too many followers.
It's true.
I think that's true.
It's true, except for what I'm saying. The threat of force was proven to be valid even at the end. The number of followers, I'm going to quote Longshanks from Braveheart. The sheep are mere sheep, easily dispersed of once you dispose of the shepherd.
Maybe I'm just being too honorable, but I don't feel like that's the right approach because you're no better than her. You're using fear to lead.
Okay, so what's the difference between fear and reverence?
Use a smaller word.
Reverence is fear, but it's when you revere someone, there's respect involved, right? If you go down that road of human sacrifice, there's no respect there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
No. Her.
Yeah, okay.
There's nothing to be respected. But
Yeah.
what everybody was flocking to was this pretend solution. And she was offering a solution. It wasn't valid. Everybody with any common sense knows it wasn't valid.
Yeah,
It wasn't going to work.
Nobody fought her on her playing field. Everybody tried to, they just said, stop. And then went and did their own thing. And every time she kept getting crazier, they would just go, stop. And they would go do their own thing.
That's what the
instead
comment
of
said.
dealing with her.
That's what the commenter said.
Now-
By the time they dealt with her,
Yeah.
it was already too late.
I agree. It was too, I think right off the bat, you had to realize that she was going to start stirring up people.
Okay, so now that we've...
Can we get to the bugs?
Yeah.
Okay. Ask your question about the bugs because I have so much to say about the bugs. I have
Okay.
one main thing to say about the
Well,
bugs.
I specifically want to talk about the spiders.
Okay.
So the way that they captured and, could I say harvest, the humans,
Oh, yeah. Okay. As
'Cause they-
breeding grounds?
they use them as breeding grounds, which then the spiders, the babies, ate their way through. Eric doesn't like spiders, guys. He can't stand spiders.
Especially don't like spiders who implant their babies in you. Alien style. Oh, dear God.
First, I have one continuity problem. They shoot the web, and the web is acidic and cuts through everything. But then the soldier was still fully clothed in all of his garb. It did nothing to him. And a lot of other people were like
they
that.
were ripping him off of. They were ripping the webs off of him.
Right.
I remember that the webs were acidic, and then when I was just rewatching it, I saw them doing that, and I was expecting. I had this weird memory in my head that when they grabbed him, they were like, my hand, but they didn't do that. So I agree, it's a continuity issue.
But the spiders themselves, they're absolutely terrifying. They looked horrific. They had faces on them, right? I mean, I thought it was really gross, but it was really cool that they did this. And not only that, but how big they were, right? Now, how big all of the bugs were. Those mosquito type things were humongous. The birds, the pterodactyls that were eating the bugs were humongous. All of it. So all of this stuff.
Can we appreciate that it had its own little ecosystem?
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
So the fan fiction says that this comes from an alternate dimension. It was the Arrowhead Project. The military did open up a dimension into another world. They were able to, and the soldier was saying this, they were able to look through the window, but at a time, and there was supposed to be a scene that depicted this that was cut for, I think it was budget cuts. It was supposed to show a lightning strike that killed the power in the military base at the moment that it opened up that dimension, and all of a sudden they weren't able to just look through. The monsters were able to come through, and that's what happened. But that's just fan fiction as far as I know.
Another thing, right at the beginning of the movie, because main character is a painter, the thing that he's painting is another Stephen King book, The Dark Tower.
That's the gunslinger. Yep, that's Roland.
Yeah. And this brings me to my next point. If I become host sometime in the future, I think we should watch The Thing, because on the other side of that, it was the poster for The Thing.
That's right.
It's a good
I
one.
think we should
That's
watch
right.
both, because the second one is a prequel to the first one.
The Thing and The Thing 2.
There's The Thing, and then there's The Thing. The Thing came out like 80s, and then The Thing came out
Yeah, The Thing?
something. Yeah, The Thing.
Oh, they redid it?
Yeah, not to be mixed up with the Marvel character The Thing, but The Thing came out, and then The Thing came out after it.
Wait,
a long
The
time
Thing
after.
or The Thing?
The Thing.
Which
The
one
Thing.
came first?
The Thing.
The Thing came first?
before The Thing.
And then
But
The
I think
Thing.
The Thing came before The Thing and The Thing.
All right, you clowns. Okay, so of all of the stuff, of everything, what is it that you would rather take on? Everything you got to see in this thing, and I don't care what small arms you have. Nothing. You don't have rocket launchers. You don't have a tank. You don't
Says
have
you.
a bazooka. You have small arms. Okay, let's just say we're gonna say you have a pistol, a 9, and you have 5 mags with 15 rounds each. Right? It's illegal in California. You go out there and you have to face something. You saw these spider things. You saw those mosquito things. You saw the pterodactyl looking birds, those huge mothers. And then you saw that big giant monster that took Ollie and took someone else, the soldier. What are you prepared to face in that moment?
In that moment?
Yeah. We'll go TJ first.
I feel like you should go with Eric first.
No, I feel like you should go with TJ first.
Were you not listening again, TJ? Do I have
No,
to take another point?
You don't have to take another point. I was listening. I want to hear Eric's point of view. He's been kind of quiet.
He's been doing all the talking.
No, when it comes to survival aspects, he's over here talking about religion and stuff. I'm bringing the survival stuff in. I want to hear Eric's thing. He's the guy who isn't the survival expert in our survival trio. I want to hear what he wants to say.
Exactly. That's why would you want to hear what I have to say? I'm not the survival expert.
Well, you had us on an episode answering
busted
survival
you.
scenarios.
Because you
Where's
guys
your
are the
survival
experts.
scenarios?
I'm thinking that you were not listening again.
Yeah, TJ, what was the question?
Listening.
What was the question?
What is that, Nicole? Look, TJ has been busy. You have just been freaking ratted out, TJ.
Wow.
I don't know what you're referring to. This is blasphemy.
Mm-hmm.
This is uncalled for. And Eric, I'd like you to know that your mustache is stupid.
Wow, you're going to go after the mustache? Now, that's offensive because I know it's not stupid.
Yeah, be hurt. Okay.
What am I prepared
Go ahead
to
and
face?
go first. You have a small arm. You have a 9. You have 5 mags, 15 rounds each. And what would you prefer to go against?
Out of what we saw?
Yep. mosquito things, the pterodactyl things, the
Probably the pterodactyl things. They honestly, so the mosquito things are bad because they'll outnumber you. They'll just swarm you, and they seem to just do whatever the fuck they wanted. But they only come out at night, and they don't really like fire, so that's kind of a good thing. But the pterodactyls didn't like fire either. There's less of them, and I think they're a bigger target to hit with a gun. So I would probably go with the pterodactyl, assuming we're in like the grocery store situation, and we're not like outside where like 7 of them could come get me.
Mhm.
I think I would rather go against the pterodactyls rather than anything else. Especially spiders are at the top of the list of things I do not want to go up against.
I do not want to go against those spiders. Those spiders, the freaking acid webs, dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
Yep.
I wouldn't
Big
be able
pass.
to dodge that. What?
Big pass.
So I had my statement on this is I didn't like the mosquito things because I think it's too hard of a target to hit.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Too small.
They're swarming around. They buzz. I hate the spiders because again, yeah, they're shooting back at you. I also think I would rather face the pterodactyl thing, and
Because everything else is just too big to fight with small
The
arms.
pterodactyl things were going for the bugs mainly.
I'm
That's true.
gonna give you the hint that actually you saw it, and this explains why Carol was able to survive, and you saw her at the end, right? So when they finally did get out, and there's one continuity error here. So let me tell you the secret first, and then I'll tell you the continuity error. They all get out. They run to the car. They get away. Poor Ollie dies. They get away. They run out of gas, and he does the thing, right?
Mhm.
Number one, I'm going to tell you, this is why you have to always keep at least a half a tank of gas in your car. Because even that 1968 Toyota Land Runner, I think that's what it was called, 1968 Toyota Land Runner or Land Rover.
I think it was a Land Rover.
It was, that thing gets horrible gas mileage. It's about 13 miles to the gallon. The tank is about a 29-gallon tank. But even at half tank, he would be able to have cleared the state. He would have gotten out of Maine into New Hampshire. And theoretically speaking, because the military came at the end, he would have escaped the fog, right? So don't run your gas tank, especially if you have a huge gas guzzler like that.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it at half a tank. What's the point in letting your gas tank run low on such a huge machine? So you keep that. Now,
I get that. However, I still let my gas get pretty low.
don't do that.
I know I shouldn't, but when I'm driving back home from work, the gas station's on the left, and I would have to make a left turn to get into it, and then I would have to make another left turn onto a busy street, and it's so much.
You know how pissed off you're gonna be when you ignore that and an earthquake or something happens and you're not able to get gas and you only have like an eighth of a tank?
Where would I go?
Then you're gonna be really pissed off.
Where would I go?
If we have to go out there,
I got your car. You
Okay.
keep your gas full.
you know where I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm not
I have
going.
enough gas to get there.
That's still not good. So
I agree. You should keep at least a quarter tank, but half is a good landmark.
half is better. Half is where you want to be. So when you get all the way out there, and so at the end he offs everybody,
But
and
himself. Because
he's left to survive because he thinks he's gonna get the monsters to kill him because he didn't have enough rounds to unalive everybody in the car. So he gets out of the car, he starts screaming and hollering, and then the military show up and allegedly save the day. Right?
Which is such a Stephen King ending.
I've got 2 fan fictions
It's
for
not
that.
though. It's not a Stephen King ending. It's the ending of the director.
Frank
King
Darabont.
ended,
Really?
Frank
it
Darabont
ended differently.
demanded that no matter what, if he's going to direct the movie, they cannot change the end. They agreed, and they had to live with it.
Honestly, I like his. I don't even know the Stephen King ending, but
The
his
Stephen King
is-
ending, they just drove.
Oh
you
no,
don't know
his
what happened.
ending is wild.
So in the in the whole situation when they come, one fan theory is the military was not there to save them. The military was there. Everybody you saw in the trucks being driven away were going to be executed because hence begins the cover up.
Mm,
All right. So that's one.
Yeah.
So and you're in
Unfortunately.
this situation. You go out there. Here was the trick, apparently. So you all are survivors who listen to this podcast. So you have your tank at least at half a tank or higher. So you get in your car and you escape all of this nonsense. So you're outside, you're down in New Hampshire, maybe even you're all the way down in Massachusetts. You're way outside of of Maine now, and the military has no touch on you, and they're not going to go hunting people down because that's going to be apparent. And the way that you escape is it's all about calmness. When you panic, that's what caused the monsters to attack. The proof that you saw this in action was, number one, Carol, when she walked out of the store calmly, and she just marched quietly and calmly. The second time you saw it happen was the religious lady.
Yeah.
She just stood there. She thought she was a prophet because she was just standing there and praying, but she wasn't moving. She wasn't freaking out. She wasn't squirming. And so the bug just flew off of her and took off.
She essentially surrendered herself, which I kind of think is just a little bit of an animal thing.
One continuity error was Ollie at the end, because he was just standing there and that big giant monster came and grabbed him and ate him in front of all of them when he got to their car first, opened the doors, and bada bing.
Rest in
But
peace,
that's
Ollie.
that's just a
Ollie.
continuity error. So in that situation, I'm gonna just force you guys. You're leaving. You're going to leave. Do you do the same thing he did? You have 4 rounds. There's 5 of you. One of them is your kid. Do you do the same thing after your kid made you promise you will not let the monsters get him?
Well, I mean, he didn't.
I'm pushing that. Okay, loved her, the old lady.
Oh,
Oh,
loved
she
it.
was awesome.
But
so sweet.
you're fucking old, right? Like, get the fuck out of my car so I can kill the rest of these people and kill myself. Because I'm not about to live through the trauma of murdering my son. First off, also, I could just put my head up next to somebody else's head and pull the trigger.
That's what I would
thought
do.
the same thing.
That's what I would do, yeah.
All right, we are all on the same page on that part.
Well, like a bullet's going to go through one head and be like, nah, I can't. I don't have enough force to go through the second one. Come on, are we kidding?
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me do some adding here.
Wait, hang on. We didn't talk about the one thing I really wanted to talk
Go
about.
ahead.
The bugs, the mosquitoes, and the pterodactyls. How? Why? Okay, hang on. How do I put this into words without being too mean? How stupid are they to just keep flashing the lights around?
Oh yeah.
It was the one dumb fuck who kept turning the lights on.
Yeah,
After he
well, no,
clearly
it wasn't
said-
just him. No, it wasn't just him. Oh my, I'm going to get upset about this. So the very first time that the first bug that showed up, the guy had the lantern there. And then all these idiots keep turning on more lanterns, putting them up to the windows, going, oh, wow, look at all the bugs. Look at all these guys. It's not like bugs are naturally attracted to light or anything like that.
And
Oh,
you wouldn't know this in Maine.
yeah. Oh, hang on. Let's take these big flashlights we have and shine them out there. Hey, isn't it weird how the bugs are following the light? That's weird. Hey, let's get some more light out here. Let's keep. Oh, wait. Why are they coming up to the window? What?
They came up to the window in the first place because dude had his lantern on.
Exactly.
Right in front of the window.
It took them so long before they decided, oh, they're attracted to the light. Let's turn off the light. And then you have the idiots in the back going, we're going to turn on the lights. Which, look, they were idiots for that. But the guys in the front are the biggest dummies.
Okay, so for the guys in the back, I watched this twice, and I watched it twice for this exact reason, because that pissed me off when they were turning on the lights. And then I finally got it when I watched it the second time. David had told them, you save these for an emergency, like if one of them gets in.
Yeah.
And then they went and they were turning them
But the
all
thing
on.
is, nothing got in yet.
No, it did. It did. They broke through the window. He came in. The one came in. His face was inside of the window. They heard the glass break.
No, they were turning them on
didn't see
before.
it. No, they didn't.
Yes, they were.
No, they didn't.
I guarantee you
Nope,
they were.
Go back and watch it.
I will literally pull
They
it up
did
right
not.
now. I guarantee you they were.
They did not.
I'm
They
gonna
turned
pull
it
it up
on
right
after
now.
the glass broke. And then they went and they started hitting all of the lights, and they brought them all up. Survivors, this is why I will always repeat this. Slow is fast. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Slow is fast. Take your time. That 2 extra seconds this guy could have taken to walk around and not knock over the gasoline all over the floor would
Yeah.
have saved his life.
Yeah.
And it would have saved the whole mission.
I would
Yeah.
also like to point out that Aubrey in the chat, because this is live, said that being said, fire scorching spiders would also light up and attract larger bugs. So as you're lighting shit on fire, it would attract more.
That's true.
Well, we kind of saw that. Maybe I think yes, I do agree. But in the store when they lit the pterodactyl on fire, it didn't attract more. Well, I think the reason actually being was that they held up a torch to the opening of the window, and wouldn't let anything else in. So that was smart. I do like that.
And with that being said, let me do a quick tally here. By the way, just to close it out, I'm giving you 2 points because I watched that freaking scene because I was so angry at them.
What can I say?
And I was so convinced. I mean, I think I wanted to convince myself
What can I say?
that they were not that stupid, but they were that stupid.
What can I
So
say?
I'm giving you 2 points for being right on that.
I'm a keen observer.
Here we go. We've got TJ is 1, 2, -1. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1. That's 4 for TJ. Eric is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Perfect number.
So that is a perfect number.
Perfect number. It fits me.
Mm.
So we know what TJ's next movie is going to be.
I feel
What
like
are
I
you
should get
gonna
an
do?
extra point
Why should you get an extra point?
for interacting with the chat the whole time. Chat, do you
No.
agree?
You kept ignoring me.
We specifically told them we wouldn't be interacting with them. We love you guys. We're so thankful you joined. But we specifically told them we wouldn't be interacting with them because we have a podcast to record.
I told you I wanted all of the attention on me.
Look, you can't be mad. The judge is a jealous judge.
I'm a very jealous judge. You didn't call me forearm poppy once after I prompted you.
If
true.
you look in the chat, I asked them to say forearm poppy. You weren't paying attention.
I can't pay attention. I'm doing too much.
He's hosting.
See, exactly.
It's a very
you are doing
it's,
too much, sir.
it's a very stressful
Just
job.
sit there and be eye candy with your forearms, man.
Okay, here we go. Survivors, thank you all for joining us for this episode of Will You Survive the Podcast. Please reach out to us on our socials. We're on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram at Will You Survive the Podcast. You can email us at theboys@willyousurvivethepodcast.com. And you can also visit our Pinterest boards where you can check out all of your own survival gear. If you don't know what you want in your bug out bag, you can just buy one that's ready to go. Take a look. Look at all of those things. We're under Will You Survive the Podcast on Pinterest as well. And we love that you guys joined us for this live. We love all of you who keep joining us all week long. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And with that, we're going to say, till next time, stay alive.
Stay alive, baby.